Howdy, I'm Matt, and today is a Maiden of the HobbyKing Mini Sonic Wing. Now, this little wing is absolutely diddy. Look at the size of it. You can fit it in your missus's handbag, it's that small. Let's take a quick look at it, and then we'll have a chat about the model itself. So, the model cost me 30 quid-ish. Okay, apparently it's part of the UMX series, so it's actually another company's model which HobbyKing has been labelled up, which is quite common in many industries, including the RC industry as well. I've put some little turnigy. Now I do like these ones, the TJY 1440A servos, the little micro servos. They have been very, very good. It did come with a motor and prop. One thing to note is that the prop nut, the thread inside was not tapped out properly, hence you wouldn't believe the amount of effort which was required to get that prop nut to go on the end, and I've mullered the thread on the end of the shaft of the motor. So immediately I'm giving this model a -1 because of shit build quality, and no apologies for the language. That was stupid and shouldn't have been like that. So that was definitely a manufacturing flaw, which ultimately HobbyKing are responsible for. Also, quickly looking at the model, there's a little pod up here which you could definitely put an FPV camera on there. That is definitely my plan, by the way, is to fit an FPV camera up there, and that's kind of handy because you'll notice that inside I've got some lead, which is way more than a little FPV camera, so that's happy days. I've got a little 1400 2S pack, a little 6 amp ESC, and now that receiver is an 8-channel receiver which I bought off Banggood, which does PWM outputs, and that actually works really well so far. So today we're at the flying field. It's a perfect flying day, there's like no wind at all. But the ground is absolutely covered in poo, so when you hear me moaning about poo in a minute, it's not the model, hopefully. It's just that the farmer's been out here and muck spread. So yeah, coming back to the model, yeah, very, very simple build, to say the least. The bit which I haven't liked was that the motor prop nut was not tapped out all the way, and that did cause me some pain. One thing which I've actually been and flown this one at home, and one thing which I was really surprised at is look how close that propeller is to the back of the model, and surprisingly it doesn't make that much noise. I was really genuinely surprised. I've got a little rainbow wing at home which is like similar size, and it makes twice as much noise as this one, so happy days. Two mods which I've already made to mine is that I've put sellotape all the way along the leading edge. Let me just turn it over. All the way along the leading edge, you'll see I've got some sellotape just to protect the leading edge. There's 2 pins in there for the centre of gravity, and what you probably cannot see, unless I put it in the bright sunshine, is, can you see this is really shiny? Let me stick you on my head. Can you see that's really shiny there? Is that I have put a bit of E6000 glue on the front, because I did notice on a rough landing is that this foam started to break away very, very quickly, and that has stiffened it up loads. And also in a field like today with the ground's horrible, is that it will keep the mud off. So like I said, I'm going to label this one up as the Maiden. So I am going to label this one up as the Maiden, but to be honest, I've got to be honest with you, I have already flown it at home. I did have a few failed launches with this one to begin with, which I'm frankly glad I probably didn't get on camera, because I probably would have looked like a bit of a plonker. But with that said, it did fly good. So hopefully today I've got it in a nice big space. I'll hopefully be able to do some loops and some rolls and be more adventurous, well, compared to the tight little space which I've got back at home. So with that said, oh, I think it's a 3200 kV motor it came with. No, 3100 kV, a 1306, and to be honest, it's quite pokey, even on 2S. So let's give it some welly. And by the way, wish it luck, because I don't know how well you can see that on the ground, but that ground is absolutely plastered with poo. So if this goes wrong, it's going to be pooey. In fact, I might throw it that way. Whoa, thank goodness for that. That would have been bad, wouldn't it? So yeah, very quiet compared to my other little rainbow wing. in comparison. It's very well behaved. I would not fly this in anything less than a perfect flying day, because it's so small. Even a gnat's fart's going to make it drop a wing on you or get blown to one side. But can you imagine a little FPV camera on the front on there? It's going to do really, really well. So, oh, look at that roll. Brilliant. This is what I've not been able to do. Yeah, faster left to right rather than right to left on the rolls. And that little receiver's doing really well. I'm quite surprised by that, because it's only a little diddy one, and it's a copy of an FR Sky receiver. By the way, I'll put links to all the details in the video description for you. So underneath this video, if you click on show description, I'll have all the links, all the bits on there. So let's go into high rates now. Whoa, look at that! And because of the stripes on the bottom, it's very easy to pick up the orientation. Did you just see how horrible it was then, or how much it was misbehaving on the pitch, or up and down on the model in high rates? That tells me in the transmitter I need to go and get some more expo in there, because that was not very nice. Maybe a little bit too sensitive. Almost, go on, almost unlimited vertical. I'm not going to say unlimited. Well, look at the size of the model. That's unlimited for a model like this size. It did go up into the sky very, very well. Try loop. Very well behaved in loop, very predictable. Bank it over. Some of my favourite manoeuvres. Was it Cuban 8 when you do that? Maybe underneath a little bit more control like that. That's probably better. Loop it round, fly straight up, bank over, let it fall. Ooh, it's a little bit too sensitive for me on the elevator, and that could be a CG issue, because a flying wing which is tail heavy will be very, very pitch sensitive, whereas or it could be just I need a little bit more expo and maybe a little bit more finesse down here on the sticks. To be honest, I think the CG is perfectly fine. So I think I'm going to say that's Matt's fault. That's the finesse on the sticks. Whee! I've got no idea how long that battery is going to last. In fact, I don't care. I'll just fly. Well, I do care, because I don't want to go and pick this model out of poo. Right, let's get on to the bad topic, which is related to this model and related to the order. Is that I ordered one of these, and then I realised I put the order in and paid for it at HobbyKing in the evening, and then I realised I needed 6 servos for a couple of models which I've got on the side to be built. So I contacted HobbyKing support and asked for the order to be cancelled, and they put the cancel request in. And note, this was before 9:30 in the morning here in the UK, so plenty of time for the order to be found and it to be even cancelled with the courier, so it wouldn't get picked up by the courier when the order gets collected by them as they go to their warehouse. However, they didn't cancel it, and I got sent 2 of these. One box with this in it and some CA, and one box, minor tree, and then another box with the model, the CA and the servos. And now I'm going to be out of pocket because they didn't cancel their orders, the order in time. So I'm a bit pissed about that. So HobbyKing is frankly not in my good books at the moment. However, this little model, oh, here we go. Bit sloppy then. It's really good fun. It's really good fun. Like I said, I am going to FPV it. Yeah. Definitely some more expo needed in that elevator. Whee. But also, only a perfect day weather. So if you've got somewhere maybe at the front of your house or around the back garden, you've got space to fly a model like this, it would be great fun. Or just something just to chuck in the bag for shits and giggles. Absolute shits and giggles. Orientation on this wing. Look at those stripes. And do you see those stripes underneath the wing then? Very easy to orientate yourself with. Yeah, not unlimited vertical. But the model ain't even like a foot big. What was it? 550 millimeters, 55 centimeters. So I don't know what that is in old money, but put it this way, it ain't very big. And I'm having great air fun. Oh, I'm going to chase the birdies, 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 birdies. Yeah! Obviously, it's very irresponsible and childish to chase birdies, and I can't see where they've gone now, so we won't be chasing any more birdies. And just for the record, you might be thinking, Matt, what do you mean chasing the birds? Just for the record, the farmer will shoot the birds here. Apparently they nick the feed out of the feed bins, and they'll get shot otherwise, and he's frequently here shooting at them. Maybe not the small ones, it's the crows normally. So ushering those away is happy days. Look at that. This is why I like this hobby. And I'm carrying on chatting. The wing's great. So this is why I like this hobby. There is such a variety of models out there. And see that glide? Brilliant. I brought 2 batteries for this one. I should have brought more by the looks of it. Yeah, there's such a good variety of models out there. And it really is a buyer's market. And I can say that because I've bought a lot of foam in the last year, and it very, very much is a buyer's market. The choice is ours, and we are very, very spoilt for models, and this one is up there for being a good model. I don't think it would take a couple of more than one bad nose punt, one in the tree, more than one bad nose punt in the ground. But that said, it'd be easy to fix. It's EPO foam, so it's not crazy. Won't be crazy hard to fit. It was very simple to build. Oh, it was a little bit fiddly. So ironically, because it was fiddly, I would rate it a 6, but I'm going to rate it a 5 because it was only 2 servos and it's only a flying wing, you know. So it was a bit fiddly getting everything to fit in there and making sure the CG was correct and everything. And I did have to add a little bit of lead in the nose, which was a bit more. Look at that, it's beautiful. Which was a little bit more than what I was expecting. But that said, it's very well behaved. I'm here playing around on what I class as medium rates. On high rates, it definitely, I need to go a little bit more careful with the sticks. The rolls are crazy. And also note the servos are set on the actual servo control horns. The servo horns, I am down 1 notch on them, so that isn't even maximum deflection on them either. Let's try it the other way. Yeah, but definitely rolling left to right faster than right to left. But lovely little glider on it. Yeah, just look at that. Just looking at the glide on this, you would definitely be able to slope saw this on a lower wind day. Look at that glide. That's still all gliding now. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh shit, my bad. I nearly had stuffed it then. Right, power's off. Coming into glide. Into glide, look at that. Yeah, just a bit of a duck on the power. If you jam the power on, it does duck, but then it does fly straight otherwise. Besides that. Right, I should probably think about landing. I say thing, I'm just carrying on, and like I said, I like it. The HobbyKing did piss me off about that order. They had plenty of time to cancel it, so I got 2 of them now. Well, I don't need more, sent it back, but I'm out of pocket for the shipping because they can't control their own warehouse. And sorry for being so blunt about that, but that's the way it is. And Matt's not happy about it, so that's why you're getting your ear bent about it, because Matt's not happy about it. So, hey ho, the model itself, good fun. Look at that. As far as flying ability required for this is definitely not a beginner's model, because I don't think it will last you. To be brutally honest, I don't think it will last you. This is more like model number 3 or 4 or something like that. To be brutally honest, and it would definitely be one of those for a perfect flying day. Out the front. I'm going to get this one FPV'd up with a little, what's it, TX03 camera on the nose. They're super cheap. I got one, a brand new one at home in the box. And I've been waiting for a model to stick it on the nose, and I got the Magnum Reloaded down there. And I'm going to try the Magnum Reloaded out. And with FPV, and I'll also set it up so it can be put on the front of this one as well. Just look at that glide. There's not a breath of wind out here today at all. At all. That battery's not showing any sign of sagging. Oh, I haven't tried it inverted yet. Almost neutral. Maybe a tiny little bit down while inverted. Yeah, tiny bit down. That means I got the CG just about right. It's fine to fly inverted. I am here very carefully feathering it, and again, this is on medium rates, and I do need to put some more expo in, because that was a little bit, well, it has been up to now, a little bit too sensitive on the old elevator, and I think that's because of my thumbs. That battery's sagging. That battery's just gone. So that was a 400 milliampere 2S, which we've used, and all this time, minus like one part where I coughed at the beginning, which I'll cut out, is that has been the flight time for a 400 milliampere pack, and we're going to go for a catch. Get in! Belter. You shouldn't do that, really. But hey, shits and giggles. Let's get this transmitter put down. Right. Let's make sure you're still recording. You are. So that is the mini Sonic Wing. 30 quid off HobbyKing. Comes with a motor. I like that. 2 little cheapo servos, little micro receiver. I've got a 6 amp ESC. I am just going to quickly turn this around, and let's go and just check that motor. The motor is stone cold. The ESC is, battery's not warm. ESC, it's just not even, you can't even tell it was hot or cold, to be honest. Very simple to build. I am going to score it a 5 out of 10 for build complexity, just because it's so small and it's so fiddly, especially in there, because you are dealing with very small components. I know I'll get asked this, the battery I actually bought off GearBest about 7 months ago. They were selling them for 99p each, and I bought like 10 of them. So it's a tiny little 400 milliampere 2S pack. With the, I think not a JST connector, I forgot what the name of the little connectors on there. Yeah, but a very simple build. It's just a little bit fiddly, and I did use servo extensions on the bottom, and the reason why I did that is because I might use that receiver in a different model at a later date, and I did cut those little, let me show you on there, I did cut those servo connectors down into the foam as well. And if you're wondering what the funny tape is, that's some Blendum tape, which is some medical tape, which you can actually ironically buy off HobbyKing as well. It's great for hinges and for securing components on the bottom of a model. So yeah, that is the mini Sonic Wing. Brilliant fun, really enjoyed that. As you can tell by how much chatting I've just done, it is brilliant, and I'm so glad that I can share that experience with you. 30 quid well spent. Two things which one thing which I don't like about the model, and the other thing which I don't like about HobbyKing is that there wasn't enough thread in the actual propeller nut itself. That was very annoying. I had to put a pair of pliers around it, really crank it to get on there, and I think I've ruined the end of the thread on the motor shaft itself. Besides that, motor plenty pokey enough, so that's the negative of the model. The other one is that, as I was saying about HobbyKing and their shipping and their ability to cancel orders, that really did piss me off, and we'll see what happens with that one. So yeah, any questions about the Mini Sonic Wing, please just ask in the comments section underneath this video. This model was bought out of my own money, hence that's why I was having a whinge about shipping earlier. You'll have to indulge me, I'm pissed about it, but hey ho. I'm not going to hold that against the model. The model flew great and it's performed great and I'm very happy with it. So yeah, any questions about the model, please just ask in the comments section underneath this video. I will list all the parts which I've used in the video description for you as well. And yeah, if you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button underneath this video because we are going to go in FPV this one as well. And also, I kind of like Maiden a model at least one a week at the moment, something like that. Well, it feels like one a week at the moment, and it has been historically. I've got through shed loads of models this year, and this is one of the new ones to the hanger, and his little ditty, like I said, it would fit in your missus's handbag. Cool little thing. So, for myself, Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. I need to move around because that light's getting stupid bright now. It's a beautiful morning here. I'm going to go and pop another battery in this one and take it for a spin. So, for myself, Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you again shortly. Cheerios!